Welcome back to the Shelf Sisters. Happy January. I'm so excited to talk about this book, but first we have to talk about our new setup. This is, I think, the best thing that's ever happened to me this year. And I don't have to worry about a full outfit. Those chairs, I swear, like made me look bigger. It was the worst. Like I would just wear my regular jeans that I wore every single day. And every single time I wore them and came to your house and sat down, it was like I had gained 20 pounds. I seriously could not stand it, and this
No,
is
for
just so
sure,
much more,
and
like,
also now I have my
lighthearted.
guest room back, like, now I can use that
You'll
guest room for guest room purposes.
Okay, I just wanna warn you right now, like,
Capital.
don't use your hands so much because it is
Oh,
affecting your mic, so just, like, chill out on the hand gestures if you
but
can.
that's how I talk. Okay,
I
well, this is
know.
just, like, all part of the learning. If this isn't great, give
We'll
us some
do better
grace.
next time, but we have to do great because this book deserves our best episode ever. It was the craziest thing that, like, I've ever read. I literally looked up and I was like, "Am I reading about an orgy right now? Like, what is going on?" But we're gonna have to get into it, but
I
yeah,
feel like people were not as shocked by our stories, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was because they had already read it, so they knew what to expect, but, like, no one was reacting the way that I was reacting or that you were reacting. You were just like, "I can't believe what I'm reading," and at some points, I was just highlighting, like, crazy crap just because I wanted to go back to it and reread it and be like, "Did it give me the initial, like, shock again or what?"
Yeah, I have highlights that I definitely want to discuss, but I think you have different highlights. I have highlights of like personal things to us. Like, since we are from
Yeah.
Dallas and these places are like close to us, I really want to get into that. And there was one other mention where my jaw dropped. I could not believe my eyes. Okay. And you don't even know what it is. So I'm so excited to get into it.
Okay.
And honestly, I just feel like we're, like, FaceTiming about books, like, this is the best.
But this is, like, our regular day when I talk to you, and I'm like, "Okay, what are you reading now?" Like, this is just regular degular for us,
Love
so
it.
I'm really hoping my fingers are crossed that this episode crushes because this book, like you said, it deserves our best episode, and guess what? We're starting off 2026 with a bang, like, we continue to pick stellar books, but this one just tops the charts. Like, I don't even I'm trying to think when we do the recap episode, like, in December of 2026, is there gonna be another book that like, tops this? Because I don't think so. That's how far I was thinking.
I didn't even think about that, you're right, we have such big shoes to fill, and they're our own shoes, and it's the 1st month of 2026, like,
We
what are
just
we
started
gonna
off
do
with a
in
bang.
February? And, I was even thinking for February, like, it's Valentine's Day, it's my
No,
birthday
I'm no
month, like,
longer
we need
doing
to
any
do
more romances, like, cheesiness, like, this is the caliber of books that we are picking
not
from here on out, Sonia.
cheesiness, but,
No, no,
like,
no.
we
This
need
is
a good romance. It has to have romance somewhere in there. It's my
no,
birthday month. Does that
it
not
can
count for
have
anything?
it can have romance, but I'm just telling you right now, the things that we picked in 2025 that I let happen, the cheesiness that I read because of Shelf Sisters, I was going back through my 2025 reads and some of them on there, I'm like, this would not have been on my list if it wasn't for Shelf Sisters, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that it was because now I have range, and so when people ask for, like, books that they don't need to think about, I can give those recs, but the
I
caliber
will
has been
say
set for '26, and we are crushing it from here on out, and that's it. You're
I
giving me
do
eye
wanna
rolls
say
right now, but
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
care.
I'm not. I'm totally agreeing with you. I'm just thinking that last February, Deep End by Ali Hazelwood was a new low that I didn't even think I could get to, Like, even with the books that I read that, like, I talk about, I was like, "Oh, I know all of, like, the bad romance books and, like, she'll, put out a banger for us." The low that we got to with that book. I can't even believe it. I'm so sorry that we made you guys read that, like, if you kept up with us last
I mean,
year.
that's on our shelf for Shelf Sisters for eternity. Let's
Yeah,
just think about that. So that is now what we need to think about moving forward from here on
yeah,
out. I think the girls, and I'm saying the girls because that's, 99% of our audience.
yeah.
Um, the girls deserve better, and the girls deserve this book caliber.
We made up for it, you know?
We made up
What
for
we
it.
did last February, we made up January 2026.
Yeah.
So, let's get into it, and I just wanna say, like, if you've just, like, happened upon this video, please go read this book. Like, you deserve it. You deserve a five-star read filled with drama, gossip, murder, riches, billionaires. Like, it was psychotic.
It was
Can't wait to get
psychotic
into
in
it.
the best way possible. It grips you from literally instantly, and I just couldn't put it down. I was so tired. I was so exhausted, and we had a snowstorm, so I could have just been reading like all night, but I was like, "Oh crap, like I do have meetings at like 8 AM, so I gotta reel it in." But I could not stop reading this. It was that good.
Yeah. I think before we continue, we should just talk about like where we are in our backgrounds, like since this is so different. So
Oh,
I'll just
yeah.
say I am using my kitchen island to record. And thankfully, I have like a pop up outlet thing. So this is like the perfect setup. And I have my two mirrors back there. That's like the most
That's
I've
so
worked on
cute.
interior decor in my apartment. And if I'm not mistaken, they're from like IKEA or something. This was during COVID when people were TikToking, like updating their apartments and like new decor. And someone did this two mirror thing on top of their entryway table. And I copied it and literally went, picked it up. And that's how I have my background. I did put a bookshelf, like a book stack behind me. And you could not see it. So I took it away. But maybe next time I'll like redo my background and you'll be able to see some books there.
No,
But
I think it's so cute. I like it. I
Serge,
like
where
it
are
a
you
lot.
sitting?
Well, we usually record in my guest bedroom. So now I've moved to my bedroom because I wanted to do my living room because my living room is honestly like so stunning. It's a work of art. But Sonia said my sound is not good in there. So I'm sorry, I can't show you guys my living room.
You got to do it for the
Now,
people. Sound
yeah,
is more important
sound
than your
quality
background.
over aesthetics, I guess. So I am now in my bedroom. My laptop is propped up on my vanity that I barely use to like actually get ready in. So I guess is now going to be my podcasting desk. And
100%.
I moved over half of our equipment because Sonia said again my sound was not good because I was holding my microphone. So I had to manually carry this side table to my room so my sound will be better. So I really hope this is going well and this episode is, spectacular with sound because
You're
I
sounding
would have
great so
done
far, and I think we can only go up from here. In February, hopefully, we'll have even cuter backgrounds, even better
I
sound,
agree.
even
Oh my
better
God.
video, maybe
God
better
willing, God
hair
willing.
and makeup.
That too, because I literally wrapped up work and I was like, okay, give me 15 minutes. I will be ready. And this is what we came up with. But I think it's going to be good. But no, all you probably see in the background is my side table and a lamp that's on. But I think we're doing our best. And this is a new start, 2026. I think it's looking good. It's only going to go up from here. So this is just the bottom of the barrel for 26. It's just going to keep getting better. So stick with
Yes.
us.
Yes. So let's get into the book because we
Into
have so many juicy things to discuss. So Sarah's just going to read the summary of Next to Heaven by James Frey. Shout out to James Frey, my new like bestie author now. We should really like tag him in something and hopefully he responds and we can tell him like how much we loved his book.
Oh,
And
we
by
should.
the way, I don't know if you read his like little thing after, but he lives in Connecticut. And I Googled him and
Uh-huh.
people were saying that I guess a lot of his books like are based there. And people are saying that like they don't know if it's like semi autobiographical,
That was
which
the first
literally
discussion question that I saw on there, but honestly,
it
if
was
that's his life, like, I
insane.
think it's a pretty interesting life and he's having
Love,
fun. So,
love.
good for him. But I think actually this is the first Shelf Sisters book that we have picked from a male author.
No, it's not. You say this every single time we pick a book from a male author. I'm pretty sure
Really?
Gone with the
Who?
Woods was a male author. Hold,
I
I
don't think
love
so.
having my phone. Like, okay,
I know
God
the fact that
of
we have our
the
phones. Also, like,
Woods.
I'm really not loving
Oh
my
no,
red
Liz
nails. Like, I'm
Moore.
I know, that's what I was thinking, but
No, I love your nails. No, 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 let
okay.
me see. I swear we have had,
No, this is
like,
our first male
multiple
author.
no,
Okay, while you're looking, I'm gonna read the summary, and honestly, you guys, like, if
okay.
you get lost in the summary, I also haven't read the summary, so I may add on, like, a few things, and, let's just see if this kind of gives away the book. And just to be clear, we are going to be spoiling the book. And I highly, highly recommend that you read this book. And if you're just, listening to this episode for fun, I really suggest you pause it because this book was that good that I want you to read it. Like, I don't even want your download. Please go read the book and then come back to us. So, Sonia, do you co sign that?
Yeah, 100% go read it. Who are
All
we?
right.
You know? We don't unfortunately make any money from this, so whatever.
I was just,
What's
Sonia just
attached to it
posted
after.
her setup and she was like the things we do for passion, and honestly I did a separate workout just trying to move this equipment to my room, so truly the
Yeah,
things that we do for our passion project.
our Instagram is Shelf Sisters Podcast, and I posted the picture. That was the caption. The picture was the whole setup with, like, the light, the microphone, like, all of the wires around my computer. Um,
I
and
can't wait for your husband to get home and be like, oh, so this is what you guys did at Sarah's house and now it's going to be at my place. Great, great.
that's another thing. I'm so happy that you mentioned it. Like, we're so passionate about it that I had to see, like, if my husband was actually coming home, and he actually ended up going to get a foot massage for an hour so I could record in peace without embarrassment.
I was just going to say
Because
Sonia is like very embarrassed to talk about books in front of him and also this scandalous of a book. I think this is for the best.
well, he would definitely be like, "What are you reading?" But not even just about books, just, like, doing this so seriously in front of him, like, here, it's just me and you chatting. When he's here, I feel like such a loser. So,
Okay.
okay, go on with the summary, and by the way, yeah, I don't think we've had a male author, but, like, I swear
All
you've
right,
said
you
this 3 other
stand
times.
corrected and I wasn't lying. So,
Okay.
James Frey, you are our new bestie. We will be tagging you in things because Sonia is right. I don't think we've tagged you in anything. So, our January 2026 book club selection was Next to Heaven by James Frey. New Bethlehem, Connecticut. Picture perfect lawns, manicured hedges, and multi-million dollar homes present carefully curated facade. But beneath the designer yoga gear and country club membership lies a darker reality. A world of troubled opulence and sharp betrayal. In this pulpy Collins-esque beach read about 1% of the 1%, it's sexy, it's fun, it's an easy read about intrigue. It's your friends and your neighbors. It's billions. It's the White Lotus before the vacation. A world of spectacularly badly behaved rich people where money can buy anything until it ruins everything. In this world of excess, best friends, Devin and Belle have it all: beauty, money, status, but they want something more, something dangerous, something that makes them feel alive. Their solution: a party, a metis, a metis, oh my God, why can I not say this? Curated gathering of New Bethlehem's elite, from a desperate ex NFL quarterback to a hockey coach with a penchant for married women and ruthless Wall Street closer who wields his wealth like a weapon. One night, an ultra elite swingers party, multiple betrayals, and a murder that will shatter their carefully constructed facade. It
So,
didn't
basically,
like spoil much, but our questions will.
yeah, basically, the book starts out with two best friends organizing this swingers party. And, new people meet new people, and things just fully unravel from there. So there's a few, like, key couples and relationships that they get into, and a murder happens. And then it starts to solve, who
The
did the
murder,
murder, what was the motive, things of that nature. So
whole like who done
let's
it with the motive that was so interesting. And yeah, I think that was a good, we laid
Yeah.
it down.
I would say it was like a fiction book plus a little bit of a thriller. It wasn't like a normal thriller. It was mainly
Suspense. I would say suspense.
yeah, yeah, you're
Is
right.
that
Do
even
you
a
wanna
genre, like fiction suspense? It should be because I read a lot of those.
yeah, I think you should say your overall thoughts.
Do you wanna go first? I'm
Sure,
so
I would love
interested. I'm so interested.
you guys. Like, one of the best books I have ever read. Like, I this is exactly the kind of book that I look for every single time I pick up my Kindle. It just had everything. Like, it had billionaires, like rich people, like Connecticut, New Bethlehem, like that vibe I'm just obsessed with. And all of their drama, the affairs, like there was a little bit of like new romances and just like crazy things that people do and murder. Oh my God. Like love when
A
there's just like
murder.
murder in a book, you know? It just makes it that much more exciting. I had the best time every single time I put it away. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to pick my Kindle back up." And I remember when I was getting to the end, I was getting really sad. I was like, "What?" Cuz I was reading a book before this and I had to stop it. And when that happened, I was like, "Ugh, I really don't want to stop this book to pick up our Shelf Sisters book." When I was getting to the end of this book, I was like, I cannot go back to another book ever. Like, what is going to beat this? It was the best. I had such an amazing time reading it. This is going to be my biggest recommendation
Recommendation.
to every single person, every single reader I know. And I just know that everyone is going to love this book. There's nothing not to love. I will say the writing style, just I had to get used to it at first because he didn't put like quotation marks um, for the conversations, and I just, like, wasn't used to it, and he
Mhm.
just, like to emphasize things, he, like, repeated it a lot, but I ended up liking it, and it was totally fine, but that was just something where I was like, "Oh, this is, like, a totally different
Different.
kind of book." But
Okay,
love,
well,
obsessed.
okay, perfect. I'm gonna kind of I'll start from the last point that you made, his writing style. If I was a writer, this would be my style of writing.
Really?
And it's the way that I kind of text. Like, it's, like, so casual and just there's, like, no emphasis on, like, things that should be dramatic. It's, like, casually just laid it out on there,
Yeah.
repeats, and that's exactly how I text, and I imagine that if I was a writer, that's how I would write, and I was obsessed with this writing. Like, the amount of times I thought about it, I was like, "This is such a, like, smart and sharp way to write," but
Mhm.
also makes it so that, like, every hit that he had, like, I was like, "Okay, well, more is gonna keep coming because he's making this so casually." Like, all of these points are just so casually, like, dropped in to different conversations that I never saw it coming. Loved this writing style, first and foremost,
Yeah, and
you
it
know?
wasn't yeah, and it wasn't hammered in, like, you also could interpret different things, like, there was one point where he had said, and we'll get into the details, but it was like, Alex crossed the line with Anna, and
Mhm.
you were like, "Well, what was the line?" And you
Line.
had to just, like, think about it for yourself and, like, decide what the line would be, you know? So
Yeah,
I
you can
loved
take your own
that.
interpretation of it, like, everyone obviously is gonna think their own, like, what's plausible to them, but I loved this writing style, and like Sonia said, this is gonna be the absolute top of my recommendation list from here on out, and I am so proud that this was our 2026 January book club pick. Now I can say that, like, if I ever recommend this book to someone and they don't enjoy it, I'm going to question their taste. Just actually, like, question their taste, like, I'm like, "What are you
Yeah,
into and why?"
because
Because if
it
this is
has
not your taste,
everything.
everything that you could possibly want, like, the betrayal, the deceit, the billions, just the fun, the friendships, the sisterhood, and then a freaking murder. I can't. Like, my jaw is on the floor. Like, it was so, so good. If I could give it a 10 out of 5, I would. Sorry, I'm just, like, ruining my rating right now, but a 10 out of 5 for me. So, so good. I know we're gonna get into our discussion questions now, but just so you know, yes, we are gonna spoil the book fully. So if you plan on reading it, please pause and come back to us. And Sonia, I think we should get to the discussion questions. But of course, if you are not familiar with the format of our podcast, we will go through our like initial thoughts, we'll go through our discussion questions, and then we have a fun segment at the end where we go through if this was to be turned into a Hollywood movie or a series, who would we cast in the show or the movie? So we'll go through our top picks, but since there's so many characters in this book and so many couples, we've kind of picked like our top couples that we want to talk about with the
Mhm.
discussion questions, and also the top people that we want to select for our Hollywood reenact.
Yeah. So for the first discussion question, this is not really a question. We just wanted to discuss like the personal references. So mainly Belle. Belle is a Texan oil tycoon heiress daughter. And there were so many Dallas things that were mentioned. And just anytime something is mentioned, like within our orbit, I get so excited.
Yep.
And just because, like, you know, the places, you understand what he's talking about. And obviously, like, I have never been to Connecticut, and that's where this book was based. And so, you know, I'm taking his word for what all of that stuff is. But for this, I like totally
Like, you
understood
had
what
more
he was talking about.
background. Yeah, you had more background to her character,
Yeah.
and also the fact, like, the makings of the family money, I was just cackling at that part. The way that he wrote, James Frey, like, wrote that part is how I imagine every single Highland Park royal family to have gone down.
Yeah. So I highlighted those. So I'm going to go through some. This
Okay.
is when Belle was first mentioned. Um,
Okay, really quickly
just
before we
one
go to how
second.
Belle was mentioned, Devin and Belle are, like, the main characters essentially, and they're both, like,
The
best friends.
besties.
Yeah, the besties and kind of,
Yeah.
like, who, initiated the swingers party, and then that led to everything, so they're kind of like the creators of the plot of this book.
Yeah, exactly. I just like looked up. Do you know what WASP is? It was mentioned in the book a few times.
Like, a
Okay,
little
it's a
bit?
white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. That doesn't sound right. Is that I think that's right.
Yeah, that is right. So just like a
Oh,
Christian, like, you know,
okay, gotcha.
we're just
So
generalizing, but yeah, waspy is Belle.
this is the sentence that first introduces Belle. And so it was with Devin Kensington McAllister, glamorous wasp of the East Coast, and Belle Hedges Moore, Texas oil heiress and Dallas debutante. And just when I saw her name, it made me think of T Boone. What's his
Mhm.
first
Yeah,
whole first name? T Bone. T Boone. Sorry. He's
Boone.
like he passed away, I believe,
Mhm.
but he was like a massive Texas billionaire. And I don't know if it's just because both of them have two O's in their name, but it made me think that maybe she was
Based
based
on
off of
the
like
daughter.
one of his daughters. Um, because he is like an oil or he was an oil tycoon in Dallas, and that's how he got his money. So it just made me think of that.
Yeah,
And like
he's
I
originally in
remember,
Oklahoma, but yeah, then it was Dallas. But
yeah.
yeah,
And
he
I
had
remember
a daughter and a granddaughter.
Yeah, and I remember, like, whenever I go to Cowboys games, he has or his family has, like, their own parking spot outside of Cowboys, and it says, like, Boone Parking, like, reserved, whatever, and so it just, like, made me think of that because she also mentioned Cowboys a few times, and, like, we're such, like, Cowboys fans. So that was one thing, and then she also said Belle had grown up in Highland Park, the wealthiest part of Dallas. And we go to Highland Park like every single week, every single weekend. Like I just had dinner and lunch there. We actually had a snowstorm in
The
Dallas.
fact that you went there during the snowstorm, I'm just, like, cracking
I
up right now.
actually called Honor Bar and I was like, hey, how y'all doing? It's like, are you guys open? And she's like, we just closed. So I was so upset. But we
Wait, what
ended
time
up
did it close that day?
I think they closed at 4 and I had called them at like 3:40,
Okay,
so I
okay.
don't think they were taking tables, and so I called Mi Cocina, they were open, they were popping, so we
Listen,
sat
Mi Cocina is a Dallas institution. If Mi Cocina is not open, Dallas is shut down.
it's so true. By the way, did you know that the owner of Mi Cocina owns all of Highland Park?
No. Like, just the
Yeah.
land? Or yeah, duh. Or, like, they
Yeah,
developed
the
it, yeah?
land. No, he didn't develop it, so someone else had, like, owned and developed the land.
Okay.
and it was like an institution in their family, obviously. And the guy who owned Mikosina had heard around town from the Mikosina servers, hey, did you know that like this family's thinking about selling? And he was like, there's no way. And the owner at the time was at Mikosina. And so the owner of Mikosina went over to him and was like, hey, I just heard this. Is this true? And the guy was like, meet me at my office like on Monday at 2 p.m. or whatever. So he went to his office, and I think the guy had a few other bids, but I think they just like, matched on the pricing, whatever. And so the owner of Mikosina bought Highland Park, and I think this happened maybe like 30, 40 years ago. So he's had it for a while. Um,
Look at me go.
so crazy. But anyway, so that was one. And then also another one, being the only girl in the family, she was a bit of a tomboy. She rode Mustangs, fished, shot guns, and hunted deer and wild pigs, went to Cowboys games and rodeos. And we have Cowboys games and rodeos.
That is the most Texas sentence if I have
Shooting guns,
ever heard of one.
literally. And then this next one, I was like, I can't believe this is mentioned. She was a lifer at the Hockaday School and
I
went
knew that was coming.
and went to SMU, where she partied and went to sorority functions and broke the hearts of half the men at the school. Hockaday school. I know girls that went to Hockaday. I debated with like debate girls from Hockaday.
And this
Um,
isn't even, like, of course, we know this because we're Dallas, but SMU TikTok, like, blows up during rush week. So
yeah.
you guys probably know exactly what we're talking about and the type of person that is Belle in this book to a T. To
Yeah,
a T.
I don't even know if I told you, but during the snowstorm, LOL, we also went to Shug's Bagel at SMU, like by the SMU one, and it
You
was
went to Snyder
all. Is that what it is? The Snyder Plaza
Plaza.
one? The
Yeah.
one on like 75 and is it Mockingbird? I don't know.
Wait, you went to
Because the
hold on.
other ones were closed.
Yeah, you were a
We-
Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the entire
There's
place
not
was
one in
filled
Snyder.
with gotcha. The entire place was filled with SMU kids, and I was getting so much FOMO looking at them because I'm like, you guys don't even know. Like you're still in college and you have a snow day. Like how cute.
And you can just
Um,
find that out on TikTok or whatever, Twitter.
yeah.
No, that's my home shug, and that place on freaking Saturday and Sunday morning, Sonya, it is it is something. Like, I
Really.
can't even yeah, I'm gonna take a video for you.
It was packed, by the way. I had my gloves on, so I couldn't take a picture, but the line was outside the door. It was so
Okay,
good. Should I tell
of
you what I
course
got?
y yeah, tell me what you got, but we don't have the same order because yeah,
You get
tell me what
lox.
you want. Yeah, I get locks.
Okay, I got the spicy shugs, which is with egg, hash brown, and hot sauce. So I got
Oh,
that,
okay.
and it was so good. But they didn't have the jalapeno cheddar bagel. I'm so hungry right now. But they had fresh plain ones. So I got plain, but I asked them to scoop it, and it was perfect, like not too much bread. It
Oh,
was
you're one of
perfect.
those? You scoop it?
I usually don't, but I heard about it
Uh-huh,
like on
and it was
TikTok.
fine?
I was like, I didn't even think that was the thing. It was perfect because whenever I don't get it scooped, the bagel's just too thick,
Too
like, I
much?
don't need that much, and it was perfection. And then Shaquille, my husband, got their chicken cutlet, and I had a bite of it. Oh my god, I was like, "I made a mistake, like, next time, I need to go get a chicken
Chicken
cutlet." It was so
cutlet?
good.
Okay, we are going way off tangent, but just one more side note, Papa Bagels is coming to Dallas.
I did hear that. Have you had it before?
Yeah, in New York, yeah.
It wasn't, like, great, but I'm so happy it's here because, like,
Every time
the more the
I've gone,
merrier.
I got, like, a fresh batch, so I think that's why mine was good, like, I don't know how it is, like, if it's been sitting out
No,
because they
we
don't toast their bagels.
I think we did have a fresh batch. My thing was, why am I working overtime to put the schmear on my bagel? Like, you
Yeah,
do
it's like
that.
you assemble it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
was annoying. Okay, and
Okay,
then I just have 2 more of the Texas
a
ones that I
bell?
really
Okay,
wanna
oh my god.
mention.
Okay.
Okay, They got married at the Dallas Country Club in front of 800 guests in what Texas Magazine called Wedding of the Decade. First of all, I can totally see like a wedding like that, like being in a Texas magazine, you know? And Dallas Country Club, I stare at it every single time I go past. Um, I
Beverly
saw
Drive.
something online that like for initiation, I think it's like 250K. And if you can get in, that is.
That's if,
If you
like,
can
you
get
get to
in.
the initiation part, like, you're on the wait list
Yeah.
for your entire, like,
Yeah, and then
eternity? I don't know.
this I don't even know if I should say this. I think it's fine. A former president of the United States from Texas officiated the ceremony, and they hired the Backstreet Boys to be the wedding band. Okay, I don't know if I've told you this. I think where we're building our house, a few streets behind it, maybe 3 streets behind it, I think that's where either, like, George Bush or, like, George Bush Senior lives because they have a blacked out SUV, like full on, like Secret Service motions at that house, no matter what time, no matter what day, no matter nothing. And like, if you go down that street, like, it, I don't know. They literally, and I told you this, they were having an event. Remember the Amphar Gala
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in that area.
Yeah.
And, like, that street is just so, like, secretive, like, we asked a cop because we were leaving, like,
Tina,
our
they're not gonna
land.
tell you, like, flat out.
No, no, we didn't ask him if he lived there, we were just like, "What's going on? Why is there
Yeah.
a red carpet in the middle of the street?" And, like, security everywhere, and he was like, "Do you live here?" Like, that was his first question, like, they're just, like, not giving out, like, details like that, so obviously, like, they're not gonna have, like, the president of the United or ex-president, former president, like, address out there, but, like, I think that one of those 2 people, that's where they live. I just wanna say, there's no way
I know
that's,
that is
like,
the
where
most,
security
like,
too.
Texas it would be in, like, D Magazine, like, weddings, like, that would be, like, the front page. Also, when they said the Backstreet Boys, all I could think about was Lily Keller's, wedding. She now I think she moved back to Dallas. She's a TikToker,
Oh,
but
I
she
was
moved
like, "I don't know who this is."
I think her last name is Keller. Well, she got married, so I don't know what her new last name is, but, um, she had the Jonas Brothers at her wedding in Aspen, but they moved to Dallas, so, like, it's, like, all of her wedding content is has, like, locations for Dallas, but it was in Aspen, but the Jonas Brothers were there, but also Jonas
Gotcha.
Brothers have, like, a Texas connect because 'cause they're from Westlake, so alright, are we good with the
We're good with Texas. I
references?
have
Yeah.
one more
Oh, yeah,
reference.
yeah.
This is the one that blew my mind. Ready?
Yeah.
And I'll explain it to you after. Okay. I don't even know
Actually,
if I should explain first.
uh no, say it first because I think I know where you're gonna get at, and I have a question about it.
Wait, guess it.
No, just tell me.
No, guess it. You said you thought
Okay,
you knew.
it's when Billy skipped Thanksgiving at his mom's house and took a 19-year-old hooker to St. Bart's, and the way that he described his trip okay, give the context and give the did you give a
Okay,
highlight?
I have the
Okay,
highlight,
okay,
and first of all, any book with rich people, they mention St. Bart's, like, they're going on
yeah,
holiday, they're going to St. Bart's. I wouldn't have highlighted it if it was just that.
yeah,
This is why I highlighted it.
okay,
He took his plane to St. Bart's, where he rented a suite at Les Bartholomew. Okay?
yeah.
You guys, the last time I went to St. Bart's, I stayed at Les Bartholomew. Like,
What if it's the
I
same tweet? I'm cracking
we
up.
didn't I don't think we had a suite. Like, not that my husband booked it, I don't remember, but it was I'm sure this billionaire had a bigger room than we did,
I knew that
but
was gonna be it though, but yeah, go for it. Give me the
these
context.
like, I just wanna say, and I'm sure you know this, the most famous hotel in St. Bart's is Eden Rock. Like, that's usually what's mentioned in a book where they mention
And
St.
most yeah,
Bart's.
yeah, most of them
Or,
are, yeah.
like, they just got, one of the houses as a villa and, like, stayed there. To randomly and by the way, St. Bart's has Eden Rock, Rosewood, like, there's another famous
It was just like a
hotel there,
random call out. It was a random call out.
like Les Bartholomew? And it's crazy because, like, we usually stay at the Christopher. Like this one time we're like, maybe we should branch out and like look at
James
something else.
Frey like, was on your wavelength that time.
And like I just don't even know. Like whenever you like, let's say you're going there and you look at all of the options, like if he's Googling or if he's been like, I just can't imagine a world like out of all the possibilities, that's
Well, he
the
did take a
hotel you would choose.
19-year-old, so maybe he was like, "She's not gonna"
Gotta keep it hip. I don't know.
like, yeah, I think, like, she
But
was like
it's a quiet
or maybe it
hotel
was, like,
away
his
from
mind was, like,
the
low key, like, "I don't wanna be seen with this," but I guess he didn't care who he was seen with wherever he went in New York, so, you
it
know?
was, like,
But I knew
you
that
know,
was
when
gonna be
I
your
read
call out.
yeah, when I read the St. Bart's part, my jaw in place. When I read Les Bartholomew, jaw dropped. Dropped. But that
This
was my call
man,
out.
this man. Okay, but our
Next
discussion
question?
questions are about to literally give away everything in this book, so go for it, Sonia. What is our first one?
Okay, so we are just gonna break down the 4 couples that we wanna talk about.
Main,
So
yeah.
Belle and Teddy, Devin and Billy, Grace and Alex, Charlie and Katie. And we're just going to discuss like you guys have read the book now.
Yeah.
Um so first Belle and Teddy. I was really surprised that by the end of the book, like they were totally okay with talking about like their like the people that they liked separately, like not from their marriage. And even like the divorce, they said it was like amicable, like there's plenty of money to be like separated. And I think
It literally gave Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin. It was, like,
they
consciously
said they
uncoupled. Yes,
did you read that?
exactly,
They
that's
said it in the book.
yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
I
I
think the
highlighted it.
Same. I think the
Yeah.
only way that happens is or the only reason it happened was because she was a billionaire heiress, because if she was like a
She came
Joe
from money, she
Schmo
didn't yeah, yeah,
girl,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
this would be an issue.
and she had said she paid for something of Charlie's from her family money. So I think
Yeah.
she already had separate
His
accounts and
lawyer,
she was
Charlie's lawyer,
yes.
was
So I
all
think
done
she
by
was
him.
set on her own, and then she also got half of Teddy's wealth,
Yeah,
so
'cause he
she
was
was,
the
like, fine.
closer. Yeah.
Yeah, but just imagine, like, a regular girl, it's like, I know who you're gonna go to once we divorce, and, like, that chick is gonna get your money when I was with you for, like, 20 plus years. I think that's a different conversation, so I was just, like, so shooketh about that.
Can I just say that Teddy was one of my favorites? Like, I had 2 people or not favorites, sorry,
Angel.
sensible,
Yeah,
sensible human
angel.
being,
Yeah,
angel of a man on earth, and
yeah.
the fact that well, okay, I could understand her side as well, so like we said on our Instagram, this episode's gonna be NSFW, not safe for work, and we're just gonna, like, lay it on thick in terms of everything that happened, so I could understand her POV and why she left him, she just wasn't satisfied in their marriage, and she was okay leaving that behind, like you said, because of her family's wealth, and also because she just wasn't getting what she wanted out of that marriage, but Teddy, the way he handled the entire like, his entire life, even in the end where he was like, "I know I'm gonna get a divorce. I know I'm gonna lose half of my earnings. I hope the next person that I do like currently, like, takes me, but all I care about right now is that, like, I have a happy current wife, happy children, and they're doing great in their life. That's all I care about right now." And I was like, "Oh, you sensible, sensible man. Like, we need I imagine this town had more sensible people like him, but the fact that he was the only one in this group, like, I found that a little bit hard to believe, but this was stretching the truth because it's fiction.
Yeah, I think we both loved him, and,
Yeah.
like, if I was Belle, I never would have left him, and even when she like, whenever they talked about Charlie at the end and we'll, like, discuss the ending,
Yeah.
I was just like, "The I know how this character grew up, like, we didn't grow up like that, obviously, but, like, we're around the town, like, we understand the
Yeah.
people." Going from that to someone like Charlie who smokes weed all the time, does drugs, like, drinks beer, and, like,
It's
doesn't wanna
not
do anything
driven at
besides
all. So it's like it's
well,
not
he
a
had
lifestyle match.
passions, but
It's
it
not a
was
lifestyle, but even like a intellectual match, I don't know what you're talking about all day or
yeah.
aside from the physical aspect of things, I'm sorry, there's more to a relationship and yeah, that's it.
It was so I was like, "How would you not get tired after a few months?" Like,
Yeah,
I I don't know. And then Devin and Billy,
yeah.
obviously Billy being an abusive, like, emotionally, mentally, he wasn't really physically besides, I think, like, a short period of time with Devin,
But
but
he
he was
was with
a
other
monster.
women because he was a monster with other women. He didn't wanna do that to his wife because it's not that he didn't wanna do it. He didn't wanna do it
Yeah,
because it would show that his wife had black eyes, she had bruises,
exactly.
and she was his wife, so people knew exactly who did it to her. But if he did it to random women around town or New York, no one would know that it was him.
Exactly. Um, so, obviously, like, awful, awful human
Awful
being,
human.
and I don't wanna say the word because I feel like we're gonna get flagged, but he, like, essayed a lot of women, abused a lot of other women, like, he would hire even if he, like, let's say, didn't hire a hooker, he would just, like, get intel, like, blackmail on people, like Anna, and be like, "I will let all of this stuff, like, go public if you don't do as I say, and if you don't let me abuse you." And like Katie, he had, like, crazy
He
blackmail
had
on her and
intel
would drug
and
her.
he drugged her, like, that's what I was thinking, like, of course he was SAR, like, all of this, but then he would also drug them
Dru
to do
And
all
they
of that.
knew that that was gonna happen too, but he was like, "Drink up or else all of this is gonna go public and
Yeah.
your life is gonna be ruined," you know? Um,
So, yeah, awful human being, but Devin, the reason why she was with this man in the first place even was because she came from a lot of money, but her parents and a generation before them kind of had like dwindled all of the family's finances, and so they were no longer they were visually wealthy and like had all the chops to be, but like actually financially like they were not there. So her parents pretty much told her, I think it was in college or was it like right after she graduated college, where they were like, you are now taking care of us. So you better marry into a billionaire family because we can't sustain this lifestyle and you need to sustain it for us and for yourself.
Yeah, I liked her character. She seemed like a sweet girl that just got into this mess.
Yeah.
And her relationship with Anna, it was just like so beautiful. And I was like really happy for her in the end that she was able to escape everything, like get her bag and go, you know? So I really liked her character throughout.
And you could
Grace
just tell that she had like a great heart because even when all of these bad things were happening to her, she was standing up for like women in her surrounding that she could really stick up for. And she wasn't just doing that to like like in the end, like the way that she played it out, it would be to her advantage. It was just because in the moment she could make their life slightly easier by kind of taking the fault for things. So she had a good
yeah.
heart.
Grace and Alex. Alex, a piece of crap. Oh my God. And Grace, there were so many things about Grace where I was just like there was a point where she knew that Alex was having an affair on her, and he really wanted her to go to that tennis country club like award ceremony
Award.
thing.
Yeah.
And
Because
she
she won it every
verbatim
single year.
yeah, and verbatim, she said, like, I should go because basically Alex is going through stuff, so I should just do this thing for him. And I was like, what he's going through is an affair that he's having on you. Like, and all of this financial hardship, like losing his job, not saying anything for a year,
Not just
gambling,
losing his
hiring.
job, gambling their entire savings and what they had left. Like you're not bringing anything to the table now, but you're
Yeah,
also like making us
yeah.
completely like dwindle our
And
finances.
yeah, and I would think, like, if one can have an affair, they can betray you in multiple ways, and what I just found crazy obviously not to, like, blame anything, like, on the victim and the girl, but I thought that, like, she wouldn't have access to the finances, but the fact that she had a login and just, like, didn't log in was really crazy to me, but she seemed like just like a sweet girl, and she like would have followed Alex like into debt, like dealt with everything with him. And this was the girl that all of this bad stuff happened to. Her storyline was just like so sad
But the
until
end.
Teddy
But
loved them
literally, this is
together.
why
They deserve
Teddy
each
is
other.
such a gem.
The
Okay, but
2 like
she also
gems
needs to
of people.
yeah, but she also needs to become a little bit more smart and just, like, aware of what's happening around her and keep tabs on situations because she can't just, like, let men kind of dictate what happens to her future.
100%, but I don't think Teddy would ever do her wrong, so she's in
I
good hands
know,
now,
but
you know?
she's in good hands, she's in good hands, but Alex
Um,
is I just wanna say Alex is literally reminds me of every, like, athlete that peaked in high school and that went on to, like, college and didn't really make, waves in college, so then they went into, like, a depression and then went into gambling, things like that. Except
yeah.
Alex went to the NFL and then kind of, like, flunked out of the NFL, like, I don't know what that's called, but then they had a downward spiral of all of that, so
You know what I also thought was crazy that it wasn't described at, because obviously he did so many awful things, like just gambled 100,000, like stole from people to
per
continue
day.
his
Yeah.
her day. What'd you say?
Per day, the
Oh,
highest day that
per
he
day.
did was
Oh, yeah.
gambled 100K per day.
Yeah, like, not only that overly arching, like, crazy stuff, but another horrible thing that I thought he did that is like on par of essaying someone is taking your wife to what she thinks is a dinner party and having her go into a room with a random man she hasn't met who knows that it's a swingers party. Like, he didn't know that she wouldn't be matched up with Billy or someone like Billy or someone like him who's disgusting. And I
He just put
I
her in that
honestly
situation.
think like I would call that essay. Like, to
Yeah.
take your wife, the mother of your kids, into that situation and she has no idea what's going on and can't like doesn't even know that she needs to protect herself in any way. I thought that was like the most scum of the earth thing to do.
Or you know what was even worse that he did shortly after that is when he started having an affair with Devin, he was ready to leave his wife and kids, and he knew that he had completely, like, drained their bank accounts, and he was willing to literally just part way with his kids and had 0 remorse, like, 0 remorse in doing it and did not think about it twice. I like, okay, you are a shitty human being and you do that to your wife, but to just, like, peace out for your kids and say like I'm going to start this brand new life with this rich woman who has everything that I can steal and can like kind of fuel my
He
gambling addiction.
There was a
Insane.
sentence
Zero brain.
There was one sentence where he was basically saying, like, even though this is gonna betray them, it also will help them because I'll be with a rich woman. So I think he was wanting Devin to pay for his wife and kids. But then at the end, like, I think he just mentally went so off the deep end that he didn't even realize like what he was doing it all for. Like, I think at
Yeah.
the end he was like, I'm just gonna take this money for myself, and if they get it, they get it. If not, like, sorry, not even sorry, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should get
Okay.
to
No, we
Charlie
need to get
and
to it. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, they weren't like the main characters, but I didn't like love Charlie, and I liked Katie for the most part, but just like how she dealt with um her childhood and what she like chose to do as an adult, I just like couldn't get like I couldn't connect with that, like
Yeah. But we also can't be in that headspace. So I
yeah.
don't know.
Okay, the next
But
question.
Charlie was the one that, um, what's her name? Belle, sweet Texas Belle, who is also quite dumb, left her gem of a husband, Teddy, to now be with this, man who has no ambition, no drive, and smokes weed all day, and
It's just like great in bed, and that's like
right,
his best
yeah, and
quality.
so
Okay,
that's who she
great.
left her husband for. That's Charlie for you.
Do you consider the actions taken by Devin and Anna to be justified liberation from abuse, or do they cross the line into unjustified murder?
Will this recording be used for future anything in the future? Okay, let's actually say
Lol,
what
that was funny.
happened, just in case we have some listeners who are, like, not into reading and they're just, listening to us because, I don't know, for us, which I don't know when that would ever happen. Um, but in the end, Devin and Anna, the masterminds, framed Alex's murder, Alex, the ex NFL athlete, his murder, and framed it to be Billy, the one who actually murdered him. And the way they executed this was flawless. And then we understood the background of how Devin even thought about it and kind of surpassed all of like the surveillance cameras and the way she thought about like the escape plan and all of that. So we'll go into more context there, but that's kind of how they initiated their plan and got Billy charged with murder for Alex's death. And I'm just gonna say, yes, it was okay for them to do, and it was well worth it because of the scumbag human that Billy was. That's it.
Okay, Billy for sure, because all of the
Yeah,
nasty
yeah, you're
things
right.
he
There's like
did,
2 things here. Yeah.
well, his stuff was more written out. What I was saying before, where the author was like, Alex tried to approach Anna and crossed a line with her. But I don't know if I don't know what that line was. So it's like up for interpretation. And so I think that's why at the end of the book, like, this is a question, was it justified? Because like there were two people, like one was, and you know what I'm thinking now? Why couldn't they just like shoot him? Like, why did they have to kill him like that? Like, I don't
I don't
know. I
think
don't
Devin
know if
Devin didn't know how to
that's
shoot, like
justified.
yeah, no, I agree, but I also yeah, now that I think about it with Alex and, like, him actually dying, honestly, I took that out of the equation. All I was thinking about was Billy, because he was that
Because he
terrible.
was the woe, but
He was the
I
worst,
don't
and
know.
so what did you say? The what?
The woe, worst of all time?
Okay, is that a TikTok thing?
No, like, I think it's
Oh, okay,
known.
okay. Okay, okay.
I hope.
I hope. Okay. No, I think it's fine. But yeah, all I was thinking about was Billy, but when you mentioned that Alex was like, "This is gonna be better for my family because 'cause I'll be with a rich woman and, like, provide that way," this is, like, taking it too far, but if he was alive, like, he would have gambled other things away. Maybe he would have gambled away, like, his kids. Like, I don't know what this man would have done. Like, he was on such a bad downward spiral that, like, his life was stressing me out, and all I
Yeah,
was doing was just, like, reading, like, the amount of times that I couldn't get his life out of my head because of how poorly his judgment was and how I couldn't think about a man who's, like, in his 40s, has kids, lives in this beautiful home, this community, has this incredible wife. She's so athletic, she's beautiful, like, and you're downward spiraling this much, like, I think he was just, like, meant for something that was going to cause his own life, and this is what someone else
could
did for
be.
him. This is the worst thing to say, but this is about a fictional book, so that's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, I think it was great for the storyline. I'm just thinking, like, not that anyone should do it in real life,
I know,
but, like,
exactly,
why not
like,
kill Billy? Like,
because she wanted Billy to suffer, and she wanted Billy to know that she was the mastermind behind all of this, because in the last I think I, like, highlighted it, so I will find it, but she was like,
no,
"I
I know what
want
you're
him
talking
to."
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Raw in prison when
Yeah.
he knows that I'm the one that won and put him there.
Yeah, he would
Okay,
spend decades behind bars knowing he had been beaten and knowing who did it, and it would have eaten him alive.
yeah.
That's why she did
Okay,
that. She
gotcha. Okay,
sacrificed Alex and her good time so Billy could have his comeuppance. Is that
okay.
the right phrase? I
Yeah,
don't know, whatever.
it is. The last one, the ending. How did you interpret the resolution of the various scandals and the fate of the characters? I think we already discussed Belle and Charlie. I think that was the worst ending. I'm sorry. I don't care what the author said. I don't think they lived happily ever after. Like, I think after
No.
a few years, Belle will be like, get the heck out of my house. Like,
Also, can you
It's
imagine
just
her 3 smart, stunning daughters who grew up in this life now visiting their mom in I forget what town she was in
Ibiza.
now. Okay, partying it up as a 50-year-old with this man, Charlie.
No,
Like, that is yeah, like you said, 2 years and max.
bad,
Tap
bad
out after that.
ending. Yeah. And then Teddy and
Of course,
Grace,
we loved
my favorite,
ending up
obsessed.
in California, like, what an idyllic, like, life, leaving Connecticut to now go to another beautiful town with their beautiful family and, like, Teddy's daughters loving their step siblings. Just beautiful, stunning. I
I
love it.
I do wish they had stayed in New Bethlehem because I think they were part of, like, the nice, calm people there. Um, so I feel like they could have had a great future in this, like, idyllic, safe, beautiful town around
I
like-minded
think
people
just,
like
like,
them.
her memories, like, even her coming back to the home, and she didn't want her kids to kind of have that background, so they would carry it with them, like, throughout high school. She just didn't want that to
Yeah,
follow them around. She
yeah, I
wanted
guess.
that for her kids to have, like, a fresh start, and so,
Yeah,
for that reason, I approve of her moving out of Connecticut, and moving to California. Not that she needed my
okay.
approval, but she
Okay,
got it.
and then Billy obviously, like, rot in jail,
And you
bye.
know what? Like, it was 25 to 40 years, but, like, his money, his connections will get him out in 15, and then what is Devin doing in Costa Rica? Like, how is she okay, is that the next person that we're talking about is Devin? Or can I just ruin
No,
it now? Like, Devin
no,
moved
no,
to
yeah,
Costa
go
Rica.
on.
Also, Billy, it turns out, like, none of their prenup counted because of all of his crimes, and they found him for fraud, for SA, for R is I'm not saying all of these because I don't wanna get
Yeah,
flagged, but for all of this, like, on his burner phone that he called war phone, they got all of this background on him, and so he went to prison for all of it, not just the
yeah.
murder, and so
So
for
she
that,
got
25 to 40 years, it doesn't sound like a lot to me, but
I was
he'll be
thinking
out
this
in 15.
I was thinking the same thing, and he has I guess, like, because, like, when you're a billionaire, because he was worth $8.5
$8.5
billion
billion.
dollars, and then he gave Devin
5.
$5 billion in the divorce, so he still has billions upon billions, and, like, he can do whatever he wants with that money. I was wondering, like, even though he's behind bars, because, like, what's the drug dealer? His name, the big one, like, not
Pablo?
Pablo Escobar, the other one, but, like, he went to prison and then he escaped prison, then he went to prison, his son went to prison, he escaped prison, like,
I don't
he
think I
was
know who you're
able to
talking about.
work within prison. I'll look
Yeah,
it
no,
up,
there's
but,
a like, he
like,
has
when
so
you
many
have
connections in New York. I'm sorry, Costa Rica is not like some sanctuary where you're gonna be fully guarded of Billy and his connections. Like, he is coming for you, if not in
yeah,
like 10 years,
I think
15
the
years, he's coming for you.
I think the only, thing that could hold Billy at bay is because they have his war phone. They know all of the blackmail and dirt he has on people, and if Devin were ever to be, like, murdered, killed, like, they know that he
Do
would
it.
be the one responsible, so he would just keep spending more time in jail. So I think that's,
I
like, the
think
narrative workaround to where why he's not retaliating on these people.
I think the nature of their relationship, rather than wanting the other person dead, they would rather have them suffer for the rest of their life than have them be dead and, like,
Could
not
be.
alive.
Yeah,
So
and
I
then
think he's in it for he's gonna come back and haunt her, so I really want, a sequel to this book.
oh, that would be lovely.
James
Uh,
calling you
and
out.
I really loved Katie and the detective, I think his name was David. I love that Katie finally found, like, her, what's it called? Like, her home. Like, instead of being with a bunch of different men, like, she found her partner, her sanctuary, and he's also a cop, like, a detective, like, he can really, like, protect her if need be. I feel like that was one of, like, the greatest, like, stories in the book.
Yeah, it, like, tied
And
it up. Even in the beginning when she was at the bar, she was, like, on her way to the bar, and she was either thinking about it or she was talking to someone at the bar. She was like, "I actually do wanna settle down," and she was thinking about, like, because she was with Charlie, the the man that Belle is with now, but she was thinking about him. She's like, "He's never gonna be a partner to me because he doesn't feel like home, and, like, I want that in the future." And so she got that. She really got
Yeah,
that. And you're
that
right, like,
was
he thought
really
he's gonna protect her.
that was really heartwarming. Okay, let's go to Hollywood. Sarah, do you wanna go first?
Yeah, let me pull out my phone. Okay, should we go person by person or should we just state all of them? I think we should go person by person.
I agree. So
Yeah.
let's
Okay,
do
so the
Devin
4
first.
top people that we chose to do a Hollywood version for is Devin, Belle, the besties, Billy, who's Devin's husband, who is rotting in jail for 25 to 40 years, and then Alex, the low-life ex-athlete. So, let's go with Devin first, the mastermind behind it all. For me, I had Scarlett Johansson, the blonde bombshell that she was depicted in the book, and she's just smart, and I think she would play that character really, really well. Like, sharp,
I had
conniving, I
I
like her
had
for it.
Blake Lively, but circa, like, 2016, because I think she was, like, the most gorgeous ever, like, when she was going to the Met Gala with those looks, when she was,
Yeah,
like, wearing Chanel, I think that was
very
just, like,
early
the most
on with Ryan
beautiful.
Reynolds.
Yeah, and, like, when she was in Gossip Girl, like, every single guy wanted to be with her, and that was the same in the book, like, they were all,
Yeah,
like, whenever they looked at her, they just were, like, thinking of things, so,
yeah.
uh and then Belle.
Okay, my belle is Rachel Bilson, a Southern sweetheart in my mind, who also plays Summer Roberts in The OC, and she's in Nashville. I forget what country show it is, but she could easily play Belle as someone who grew up in oil money, but does not use her brain and makes poor choices even when she has the best of everything in front of her face. That is Rachel Bilson to me.
Okay, I had Jessica Alba. I just chose, like, a cute brunette.
Yeah, she's cute,
Billy,
but
your Billy, I was gonna pick, but I thought that he wasn't, like, I thought he was, like, I don't know, not supposed to be that handsome.
Pedro Pascal is my Billy, and I've seen some pictures of him where I don't think he's that handsome. I think he's
Oh, by the
convincingly
way,
Uh-huh. I think
I
he's
wasn't saying what I
convincingly
think. I like,
Oh,
the perception
convinc
out there
yeah.
is that
Yeah, yeah.
he's, like, one of the most handsome, so I was like, I just don't know if that matches. But I was
Yeah.
thinking what you were thinking.
Yeah, like, I think he could play, like, a rugged financier that who's just, like, so corrupted to the point where he wants to ruin everything in his life, what that he's, like, actually built and is not going to enjoy it. He just wants the corruption and the deceit over anything, even when
I
he has his
chose
billions.
I chose Nicolas Cage. Um, I just feel like the character seemed f like that he wasn't, like, so handsome, it was, like, his money that attracted everyone,
Yeah.
and I not that he's played it really, but I think in real life, if I'm not mistaken, he's had some, um like, anger issues, if I'm not mistaken, so I went
Mm.
based off of, like, that because I don't think he would need to act that much. And then
Mm.
Alex,
That's good context. Okay, our Alex was pretty aligned. We chose brothers. I chose Liam Hemsworth, and Sonia,
I
you
chose
chose
Chris Hemsworth because he's supposed to be in his 40s. Liam Hemsworth
Yeah.
is the younger brother, right? That
Yeah, I was
married
honestly,
Miley
like, going
Cyrus?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
Liam, I was saying that because all I could think about was Alex, like, at the beach initially meeting his wife, and the way that they portrayed him, that's what I had in my head, and that is Liam Hemsworth to me. And
Yeah,
so, if you read the book, like, we're both in the same, like, vicinity of the brothers, and, like, it's pretty
yeah,
spot on for an ex-athlete, but I think we crushed this list, like,
I agree.
yeah, especially
I
my list.
agree.
I think I and if you're, a listener for a while to Shelf Sisters, you know that I historically do really poorly with my Hollywood adaptations, but this one in particular, I think I am pretty strong, and it's a good start for me for 26.
Beautiful, and I think for the rating, we both know
Beautiful.
what the rating will be. Shall I do a countdown and we can say on 3?
Yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
5 out of
5.
5.
Obsessed,
Goodreads,
love.
personal, so good, 10 out of
Yeah,
5 actually, but, like, Goodreads, we gotta give it.
yeah.
Um, I love it, and I don't know where to go from here because, like, nothing is gonna top this, like, what am I reading after this? I'm gonna be so bored, like, picking up another book,
Let
and
me see what I picked up.
I have a 3.5 hour flight tomorrow, so
Oh,
and
I
it's a fun
forgot.
destination, so I want, like, a fun book, but I just know if I pick a fun book, it's gonna be mind-numbingly boring to me after this. I don't know. So, if you have any, like, California-esque suggestions or, like, a beachy, but not stupid,
Oh,
I don't know.
okay, if you want beachy, this is one of the books that we were going to pick, and I heard it's incredible. Golden Summer by Carly Fortune.
Okay.
I
Should I
heard
do
that
that?
I heard it was really good.
Okay, the
Um,
next also on my list is The Workhorse.
oh, that's on Kindle Unlimited. You should download it.
Oh my god. Okay, that's what I'm reading. I'm reading that.
Yeah.
The
Um,
Workhorse. Okay, what did you pick up?
yeah. I picked up, and this is also on Kindle Unlimited, Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez, I don't know.
Oh, her yeah, we read one of her books for Shelf Sisters. I'm forgetting which one, but we did.
No.
We did.
No, we didn't read one of
Um,
hers. I've never read a book by her, but she's very
oh,
popular.
I have read a book by her then,
Okay,
and I'll give
gotcha.
you that. But I
Okay,
like that.
I
I like that
so
pick.
I actually DNF'd it previously because whenever I downloaded it, it went to like, 5% or whatever. And I think I know why I DNF'd it, but I'm gonna keep going with it because the writing is decent for a romance book.
Okay.
I think I DNF'd it because she got custody of her like niece, and I hate a romance book with a kid in it.
Oh,
But I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna keep going. And then one of
honestly, like, things that we say on this podcast, like, are kind of problematic sometimes, and this is one of them, what you just said, but it's fine.
why? I think a
Why? It's
lot of
personal
people
preference, yeah.
I think not a lot. I'm sure like some people agree, but there's this author, her name is Rena Kent. She writes a lot of like the dark romances, and she came out with one. It's called Sweet Venom. Um I am apparently 10% into it. I This is the book I had to stop to read, this book Next to Heaven. And
Okay.
I don't like I after I finished Next to Heaven, I went back to that book. I was reading it. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't remember. And I was just like, let me just start another one. And that's when I saw Life's Too Short. So on our next episode, I'll give an update on both of these books. Maybe I'll have finished both.
Yeah, I think you will. I think I read a lot in January, and I don't even know, like, January has felt to me like a decade long. So much has
Yeah.
happened, and it's only like what, 26 days, 28 days. It's just too much. So I've read, I think, 4 books now, but I do want, and we did post about this. Yeah, we did post about this on our Instagram. Susanna and I both did like a book review of what we did in January. And I want to shout out my book, The Goddess of Warsaw. You guys, the
World War
fact that
II,
I've read,
right?
huh?
World War
What?
II.
World War II book, yes, Poland, um, based in Poland when it first starts, but then the second half of the book is kind of like how she's depicting her past in a Hollywood movie biopic about her life, and the person who's writing it, she's kind of like interviewed by her, but she goes off of like her past in Poland and kind of like how she got here, but it's kind of like Evelyn Hugo on steroids,
Gotcha.
and I think
Um,
so much
I
better than
think
Evelyn Hugo.
Gotcha, and I posted a review of A Winter Wish by Emily Stone. It was so good, like,
You
a
loved it, yeah.
great non-cheesy romance that was actually, like, a little sad, which usually I don't like, but it was just, like, really heartwarming and, like, I can't stress enough, not cheesy at all.
I love
So
that.
that was great, and then I read, like, one like, really bad book that maybe I'll talk about during our bookish. Um
Yeah.
So actually, I think our next bookish, we should go over like the books that we've read so far for the
Well, are we
year.
I think the way we need to discuss how many bookish we're gonna do this year because what we originally said was we're gonna forgo our bookish episodes because we were recording in person and it was just too much. But now that we're doing it, you know, at home in the comfort
Virtually?
of our own homes virtually, maybe we'll do bookish each month. I don't want to commit to that just yet, but I think we have enough to discuss clearly because we've been yapping away for way too long. But I think this was a strong start to 2026. Our book was great. We have oh my gosh, this is big shoes to fill. So, if you guys have recs for February's book club pick, let us know because we will be scouring Goodreads, TikTok, Instagram, Bookstagram, whatever to find a book for February because Sonia wants some sort of romance in it. And my baseline now is that it cannot be cheesy, which is really hard for a romance. So, yeah, the decision's going to be hard.
Our Instagram is Shelf Sisters Podcast, so you can send us any thoughts there, follow us,
Hmm.
and just see like our reviews of other books that we're reading, not just the
Yeah.
ones that we do here once a month.
Yeah.
But that's
I love
it.
it.
That's all for tonight, folks. Love ya. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed
Thank
the book and
you.
the episode, and see you
And give us
next time
feedback on
virtually.
this virtual. Okay, bye, you guys. How do I end it?
I'll stop it.